From Winston-Salem, North Carolina, here on the campus of Piedmont International University, it is Bruins basketball tonight against the Suns from Johnson University, visitors from Kissimmee, Florida. Good evening, everybody. I'm Dave Shook here high above courtside. Mason Cox is our engineer, set to bring you all of tonight's live play-by-play action as the Bruins trying to get back above 500 on the season, sitting at 7-7 under second-year head coach Josh Howard, coming off a win over Pensacola Christian in their last outing. Johnson University also coming off a win over Pensacola Christian in their last outing, sitting at 3-12 on the season under head coach Craig Wilsman. We'll get you a look at the starting lineups and the national anthem coming up here in just a moment. Terrific rendition of our national anthem to get us started, and now it is time to take a look at tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors from Kissimmee, Florida, the Suns from Johnson University, 3-12 on the season under head coach Craig Wilsman. The starting lineup, starting with number 1, Marquise Smith, the 6'3" senior, will lead the way in the starting lineup. Number 2, Kendall Oliver, the 6'5" junior. Number 3, the 6'1" junior, Josh Grover. Number 5, Phil LeGrier, a 6'2" freshman. And then finally, number 30 in the lineup today for the Suns, John Baker, will round out the starting lineup tonight for the visiting Suns from Johnson University. On the other side of things for this Bruins team, again at 7-7 on the year under head coach Josh Howard, trying to get themselves back above 500 on the season. The starting lineup, a familiar one, is number 1, Tamir Glenn, the 6' sophomore, will be in the backcourt alongside number 3, Nash Carter, the 6'2" senior. Number 4, Marcus Ingram into the starting lineup as well, the 6'4" sophomore. Number 5, Troy Mix, the 6'9" junior from New Orleans in the lineup. And number 32, Colton Bishop, the 6'2" junior, rounding out the starting lineup for tonight's matchup. It's the Bruins and the Suns from Johnson University, with the Bruins again at 7-7 on the year, trying to get themselves to 8-7 above 500 before a busy 3-game stretch on the road, or a 4-game stretch on the road that will see them play 4 games over 6 days beginning on Monday. And what will certainly be a busy stretch. The Bruins will be in the home whites with the powder blue numerals and trim, with a little bit of gray in there as well. The Suns, the visiting team from Johnson University, in the road navy blue with the white trim to go along with some orange outline around the word Johnson across the chest for the visitors under head coach Craig Wilsman. Again, the starting lineup for the Bruins, Glenn, Carter, Ingram, Mix, and Bishop. And on the other side for the Suns, it's Smith, Oliver, Grover, LeGrier, and Baker. Bruins in this opening half will move from right to left across your radio dial, computer screen, smartphone, tablet, however you're accessing us today on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. Meanwhile, the Suns from Johnson University will move from left to right. John Baker set to jump things up against Marcus Ingram in the center circle, as well as the official gives us the all clear, steps to the center circle. Ball is up in the air, and we are underway here in Winston-Salem as the Bruins control the tap and will have the opening possession of the ball game. First meeting of the season between these two. The Suns from the Division II level of the NCCAA, as a little hook shot in the lane is up and through for Marcus Ingram to break the ice. Good little offensive set to start things out for the Bruins, who have an early 2-0 lead just 20 seconds into the ballgame. Now the Suns will get a shot at it here on their opening possession with Grover handling the point guard duties out front. Oliver behind the screen on the near wing into the corner for Smith. Smith back to the top. Long three on the way from LeGrier is up and good. So Phil LeGrier knocks down the NBA range three-pointer. Now a little bit of full court pressure for the Suns as well. So they'll try to speed things up for this Bruins team with Mix handling it out front. Now gets it into the hands of Tamir Glenn. Glenn, who had a huge game against Johnson and Wales, drives the lane into the corner for Mix, who up fakes the three. Sweeps his way across the lane. Little hook shot, rolls it over the front of the rim and in. Good job by Troy Mix that time, using his body as a shield, warding off Baker. And able to lay it in, and it's 4-3 in favor of the Bruins with 8:50 left to play in this first half. LeGrier, who had that three a moment ago, being watched out front by Bishop, putting a little of length on Greer. Comes to the top for Baker on the little kick pass. Shot off to the right, and the rebound taken away by Bishop and the Bruins. 4-3 in the early going. Skip pass, far side for Mix. Little step back, launches the three, and it's halfway down and out as Mix hits the deck with no whistle, and the loose ball taken away by the Suns. So 4-3 our score with 18:24 left to play in this opening half. Both teams scored on their opening possession. As out front with it is Grover on this near wing. Kicks it onto the baseline for Baker. Rises up and fires a jumper that hits off the side of the backboard. And the rebound taken away by Carter. 1-on-3, doesn't care. Dribbles it off his leg though and out of bounds. They'll say last touch out of bounds off the Suns though, and so Carter and the Bruins will keep it for another possession as Glenn will trigger the inbound. Quickly comes in for Carter. Catch and shoot with a three. Halfway down and off the back of the rim. And the loose ball taken away by Baker and the Suns. So we'll come back the other way, trailing 4-3 with Oliver on that near wing. Into the corner behind the screen. Smith, an open three is up and good. Nicely executed set on the secondary break that time as Marquise Smith knocks down the three from the corner. Gives the Suns the lead back at 6-4. 2 of 2 from the three-point line are the Suns. Check that, 2 of 3. Carter at the top, tried to drive, lost the handle on the basketball, tracks it down towards the half-court logo. Down to 10 on the shot clock, around the screen from Ingram. Comes back to the top, Tamir Glenn, wide open for three, off the front of the rim. Rebound grabbed by Bishop, comes right back to Glenn, drives the lane, drop it off nicely underneath, and a layup is up and good for Marcus Ingram. Good strong drive that time by Tamir Glenn off the good glass work by Colton Bishop. Ties the game at 6 with 17:10 left to play in this first half. Oliver with the left-hand dribble, crosses over, steps back, jumper off the front of the rim, rebound tapped around. Bishop comes down with it, and the Bruins will push back the other way, have a 4-on-3 if they hurry. Get it to the near side for Carter, nearly walked with it, tries to shovel it for Glenn. Glenn lost the handle on it underneath the basket. They'll say it was poked away from behind, though, by Baker and the Suns, so the Bruins will keep it. Tied at 6 with 16:57 to play in this first half. No subs for either side yet. Into the corner for Carter, thought about the three. Instead passes up and comes back to the top for Mix. Mix trying to get it for Ingram. High post area, little step back on the way, off the rim and off the glass and in. Good job by Ingram that time, able to get the friendly roll, and the Bruins retake the lead at 8-6. Phil LeGrier working on Bishop. Spins around him, goes to the baseline, lays it up with the right hand and in. Good strong move by LeGrier. He's got 5 of the 8 in the ball game right now for Johnson University, and we're tied at 8. Colton Bishop out front for the Bruins. Uses the screen for Mix, steps to the far wing to the top for Glenn. A little bit of a weave out front as Glenn comes back to the top for Carter. Carter dribbles his way into the corner, looking for help, trying to get it inside. Instead comes up top for Bishop. Thought about the three, 7 to shoot. Ingram, a little turnaround in the lane, that's no good. Glenn battling for the rebound, but it's going to be whistled for the foul as having the rebounding position was LeGrier. Draws the first foul either way in what's been an up-pace first half so far through the first 4 minutes. That's the first step foul for either side, and it's whistled against Glenn. Josh Grover out front for the Suns. Watched by Glenn at the top, around the screen from Baker. Steps to this near wing. Bishop picks him up in a switch. Now up top for Baker again. As the Bruins scrambling and trying to switch. 3 from the far wing for LeGrier. Misses that one long. Leaking out ahead of the crowd is Carter. Carter goes up with the right hand and lays it in. Good outlet pass and a good finish by Carter. off the long miss on the three-pointer. And the Bruins lead by 2 again at 10-8. 15:30 left to play in this first half. Pass deflected, nearly stolen by Carter, hits the deck for it, and the whistle and a foul in the scramble is going to go against Kendall Oliver and the Suns. So a good job by Carter that time. Got in the passing lane, came up with a deflection. Thought we were going to get some subs for the Bruins. Coach Howard, though, puts the stop sign up. The Suns also look like they're ready to make a couple of changes. And now the officials will allow the change for the Suns as Mickshawn Williams checks into the game for the first time, as does Oscar Dusenson. Baker and LeGrier will sit. Inbounds pass deflected, nearly stolen away by the Suns, as Glenn, having some trouble getting it into Bishop, was poked away initially by Smith, and now the Bruins will make a couple of subs. Antoine Robinson and Robert Neal check in. Carter and Ingram will sit. Glenn will throw it in and throws in the backcourt for Bishop. 15:20 left to play in this first half. 10-8 in favor of the Bruins. Trying to get it down low for Neal. Neal makes a good catch on the low block. Double team comes, then leaves. He pulls up with the little turnaround jumper. That's no good off the front of the rim. And the loose ball picked away by the Suns. Back in transition the other way is Grover. Good job by the Bruins getting back defensively. Grover forced to turn around and bring it back out and then loses the handle. It's stolen away by Bishop. Bishop then tried to roll and throw it to Robinson, but then it was taken back away by the Suns. Leaner inside, rolls around the rim and in for Mickshawn Williams, his first basket. I like the hustle by Bishop, but it works against them that time as the Suns able to get the basketball back and tie the game at 10. 14:30 left to play in this first half. Robinson, far wing for Mix. Thought about the three, now backs away, being checked by Dusenson. Drives to the baseline, kick it into the corner rather for Glenn. Good little turnaround, banks it in off the window. Tough shot by Glenn. His first basket. 12-10 in favor of the Bruins. Grover, double team on the near wing. Suns able to reverse it, far baseline, drive it in and score it for Oscar Dusenson, the 6'4 sophomore. Ties the game at 12 with 14:03 left to play in this first half. Robinson, good little crossover, finds Neal cutting to the basket, but a little bit too low as Neal had to pick that one up off his shoe tops. Not able to bring it in. And the turnover will give the ball back to the Suns, and we'll get a couple of substitutions as Rashad Delgado into the game for the first time, as is Chappelle Parker-Turner for the Bruins. One sub as well for the Suns is Jamie Smith checking in, number 20. In the navy blue, out front with it is Williams. Finds Oliver along the baseline, kick it back to the top. Williams driving it around the bend underneath the basket. Hands it back for Dusenson. Little pull up from 12. Good contest that time by Parker-Turner. Forces the miss and a rebound taken away by the Bruins. And then a foul in the backcourt. That's going to go against the Suns. And Dusenson, who missed that jumper a moment ago. 13:31 left to play in the first half. 12 apiece our score. Parker-Turner now will handle the point guard duties out front. Far wing for Neal. Neal comes back to the top for Parker-Turner. A little bit of a flex look this time in this possession for the Bruins. As Robinson with 12 to shoot, tries to attack, lays it up off the glass and in. Tough shot by Antoine Robinson. Somehow was able to spin that off the glass and in to give the Bruins the lead back at 14-12. Neither team has led by more than 2 through the first 7+ minutes of this game. 12:55 left to play in the first half. Kendall Oliver to the low block for Dusenson. Dusenson swallowed up with a triple team, gets rid of it up top for Smith, who knocks down the three from the near wing. Jamie Smith off the bench with his first basket. And then we've got a whistle and a timeout in the backcourt as the Suns applying a little bit of full court pressure, force Coach Howard to burn a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. 15-14 our score with 12:39 left to play in this first half and what has been a back and forth opening half, again with neither team having led by more than 2 at this point. As we take a look at some of the leading scorers in the early portion of this ball game, Marcus Ingram leading the way for the Bruins has 6, along with a host of players with 2 in the early going. And then on the other side for the Suns, Phil LeGrier leading the way has 5 points, the only player with more than 1 field goal. Out of the timeout, it'll be Bruins basketball. And again, the full court pressure. Little 1-2-2 look for the Suns. Parker Turner trying to direct some traffic against Jamie Smith. Has to get it across the timeline and does with 1 second to spare. Now Parker Turner being harassed by Smith. Uses the screen from Delgado and nearly had the ball taken away. Gets rid of it to Robinson on the far wing though. Down to 7 to shoot. Robinson will attack. Right-hand dribble. Gets all the way to the rim and then is whistled for a travel with 3 on the shot clock. And the ball turned back over to the Suns as Coach Craig Wilsman for Johnson University, appreciative of the effort of his team on the defensive end on that trip. Able to keep the Bruins from getting a good look at the hoop. So the Suns will get it back, leading by a point at 15-14, 12-10 to play in this first half. Smith will handle it out front. Comes to the near side for Oliver. Oliver had the ball poked away by Delgado, able to pick it back up. Puts it on the deck with the left hand, gets right around Delgado. Good pass on the drop-off underneath for Dusenson, and then Dusenson going up for the layup is fouled. Foul's going to be against Robinson, and that will put Dusenson at the free throw line. First free throws for either team tonight. 2 fouls against both sides through the first 8+ minutes. First free throw on the way. Knocks it down to Dusenson. 3 in the game for the 6'4 sophomore. And now 1 more to come. Second one rolls in, but a lane violation. I think they're going to get Dusenson for chasing his own shot. Or are they going to give him the basket? Nope, they're going to call that a lane violation against the Suns, so the score will stay at 16-14 in favor of Johnson University after the lane violation by Dusenson, who kind of followed his own shot that time. Around the screen from Delgado is Glenn. Stopped at the 18-foot mark. Now kicks it back to the top for Neal. Reverse it to the far wing for Robinson. Trying to enter in for Delgado, but a reach over the back from Kendall Oliver, who doesn't agree. That'll be his second and the team third. So the Bruins will keep it, and we're going to get wholesale substitutions for the Suns, basically a hockey line change. As Baker returns, along with Rodriguez, Roman, and LeGrier checking into the game. Delgado quickly in for Parker Turner, launches the jumper from 18 and knocks it in. Parker Turner with a good jumper that time from that corner right out of the set piece. Ties the game at 16 with 11:20 left to play as the Suns back in transition. Baker from the corner. Up top for LeGrier, right about the same spot. He hit a 3 earlier, is going to try another one. This one good as well. So a couple of long 3-pointers for Phil LeGrier, who has 8. And the lead is 3 for the Suns, largest for either side in this first half. Bruins able to break the full court pressure as Glenn lobbed it over the top for Neal. And now it's Parker Turner again out front. Pressure coming from Jamie Smith, uses the screen from Robert Neal to the top. Back to Neal on the near wing, 10 to shoot now. Up top for Robinson. Robinson, left-hand dribble, step back 3 on the way, rattles in. Antoine Robinson rattles in his second field goal. This one a 3. He's got 5, and the game is tied at 19 with 10:35 left to play in this first half. Another long 3 for LeGrier. This one good as well. LeGrier from a couple of steps beyond the NBA line that time. He's got 3 3-pointers in the first half, and the lead is 3 again for the Suns at 22-19. Bruins again with no trouble breaking the full court pressure for the Suns as Robinson around the screen from Delgado, finds him on the roll. Delgado tied up in the lane, though. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow will give the ball back to the Suns. Looking to build on this 3-point advantage as Nash Carter will return for the Bruins, and Delgado will have a seat. Just about 10 minutes even left to play in this first half. Suns with a 3-point lead and the basketball. As Smith handling it out front. Comes to LeGrier, red hot in this first half. Onto the baseline for Rodriguez. Rodriguez being watched by Ingram, tries to come back to the top. Carter again with his hand in the passing lane. Knocks that one away from Juan Carlos Roman. Out of bounds, though, and so the Suns will keep it with 12 to shoot. Roman gets it in quickly for Smith. Shot clock running down to 10. Smith trying to direct some traffic. Robinson trying to shade him to his left. Tough fall-away jumper, gets pinned between the glass and the backboard with 1 on the shot clock. That'll go as a jump ball, and the ball will go back over to the Bruins. Carter, Robinson, and Parker Turner in the backcourt trying to deal with this full court pressure for the Bruins as Robinson comes across the midcourt stripe. Still 22-19 in favor of the Suns as Robinson with a right-hand dribble beats his man to the rim and lays it up and in. Just absolutely dusted LeGrier that time on the strong drive to the lane and lays it in. And now we've got a loose ball and a steal taken away by Ingram. Leads it ahead for Parker Turner. Parker Turner with a left-hand layup, no good. Rebound knocked away, comes right back to Robinson. Robinson laid up, got it blocked by Baker. And finally, the loose ball taken away by the Suns. 22-21 the score with 9 minutes even left to play. Baker with a 3 from the near wing, knocks that one down. John Baker with his first three-pointer. 25-21, largest lead of the game for the Suns as Carter in the lane, hangs in the air, a little bit short off the front of the rim. Neal and Ingram battling for the loose ball, comes to Neal, goes up with that little turnaround hook shot on the baseline and lays it in. 25-23 in favor of the Suns, 8:30 to play in the first half. Smith pulls up from the elbow, off the front of the rim. Carter in the right place for the rebound. 2-on-2 back the other way. Carter takes it himself, lay it up, no, but a foul. It's going to be on the Suns and on Baker. That'll be the 4th against the team. And Nash Carter, forcing the issue, will get himself to the free throw line for a pair. First against Baker, 4th on the team. Substitutions coming for both sides as Carter knocks down the first. 3rd point of the game for Carter as Bishop returns. Parker Turner will exit, and a line change again for the Suns, liberally substituting in this first half as Oliver, Dusenson, Garriott Jones in the game for the first time for the Suns. Second free throw is good for Carter. So ties the game at 25 with 8:15 to play in this first half. Mike Levy also in the game for the first time for the Suns. Marquis Smith back in the game. And in the corner, that is Smith being watched by Robinson. Comes back to the top in the hands of Levy. Carter nearly got the steal. Then it's taken away underneath the basket by Neal. Carter back the other way trying to force the issue. Comes near wing for Robinson. Passed up an opportunity to fire that 3. Instead comes back to the top wisely. Ingram drives on the baseline. Layup a little bit too strong. Battle for the loose ball. Ingram got it back. Lay it up. No, but a foul. Good job by Ingram following the miss that time after he made a nice move to get himself free to the rim. Didn't have a great angle on it, though. But able to draw contact and get himself to the free throw line. More substitutions coming from both sides after the free throws. The Bruins on a little 4-0 spurt, trying to retake the lead. First one for Ingram, off the front of the rim. Grover back for the Suns, and into the game for the first time for the Bruins is Poitras. And one more to come for the sophomore Ingram. Second free throw, that one's good. So 5 in a row for the Bruins to retake the lead at 26-25 with 7:40 to play in this first half. Right off the catch, Jones being watched by Ingram, gets it on the baseline for Oliver. Playing with those 2 fouls, tries to drive it on Poitras. Good cut along the baseline, backdoor by Jones and lays it in. Good find that time by Oliver and a good finish by Jones cutting along the baseline for 2. And now we're on the odd number with the Suns up by a point at 27-26. Bishop drives the lane, no look pass underneath the basket for Poitras, got his shot blocked. And they'll say a jump ball, as Oliver initially thought he'd been whistled for his 3rd foul, but instead, just the jump ball, and on the alternating possession, we'll go back the other way for the Suns. Good job by Oliver timing that jump. Grover with it out front. Right-hand dribble picked up by Bishop. Come back to the top for Oliver. Oliver goes right around Ingram. Lay it up wildly, no. Rebound tapped around, comes to Poitras, and now 2-on-2 for the Bruins if they hurry. Carter trying to take advantage, gets all the way to the rim, lost the handle on it, throws it up wildly, no, and a rebound and a putback attempt is no good for Poitras. Poitras, though, is fouled on the putback attempt, and so he'll get to the line for a pair, as Carter a little bit slow to get up, as he was really pushing the issue, trying to get back the other way on that 2-on-2 and create a transition opportunity for his team. And I thought they had the foul initially. The foul's on Grover for the Suns. I thought initially they were going to give this to Poitras. Carter looked like he was going to the line, but now the official sorted out, and it will be Poitras at the line. So first free throw opportunities for Poitras. Bruins as a team are 3 of 4 at the stripe. First one on the way for Poitras is good. The 6'6" freshman, eligible in this second semester for the first time. As Colton Bishop returns, as does Troy Mix. Second free throw is good. So 2 of 2 at the line for Poitras. Bruins retake the lead by a point at 28-27. At the 16th foul a moment ago against the Suns. Three-pointer on the way from Jones rattles in. So Garriott Jones with a couple of baskets off the bench in short minutes for the Suns gives them the lead back at 30-28. Next foul on the Suns will put the Bruins in the bonus and the Suns over the limit. Robinson picked up in a switch by Smith, lost the basketball, able to pick it back up though with 14 to shoot. Gets it for Bishop. Bishop checked by Levy. Come to the far wing for Carter. Drives the lane. Shovels it underneath for Poitras. Poitras trying to clear some space. Tied up inside. It'll be a travel. Crowd doesn't believe it. If anything, it was probably a jump ball. Nevertheless, the Suns will have it back. Ahead by 2. Is on the low block on the baseline is Baker trying to back his way in against Poitras. Got him up in the air, lay it up a little bit too soft off the window. Rebound nearly saved in bounds by Bishop, but instead it'll be last touch out of bounds off of Bishop, and the Suns will keep it as Baker and the official on the baseline have a word about whether or not Poitras may have fouled Baker that time on that little up and under move. Quickly in for Baker, catch and shoot 3 off the side of the rim, and a rebound taken away by Bishop and the Bruins this time in the field of play as Bishop pushes it back the other way with the left hand. 5:45 to play in this first half. Bishop up faking the 3, got his man in the air but didn't have his dribble. Instead gets it to Mix. Mix trying to drive it inside. Looked like he got tangled up with Jones, but instead they'll whistle the travel against Mix. Coach Howard not happy with that one, and that will draw us a timeout. 5:40 left to play in the first half. A back and forth first half has the Suns on top by 2 at 30-28. We'll take the timeout as well. Back with more after this here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, baby!
Back in Winston-Salem, 5:40 left to play in this first half. 30-28 is our score. The Suns on top in what has been a back and forth first half. Bruins have led a number of times by 2. The Suns' largest lead in the game has been by 4. Tightly contested first half. As we come out of the timeout, it'll be Suns basketball with Grover getting it on the low block again for Baker. Matched up with Poitras. This time comes back to the top for Levy. And now finds an open Grover, fires a 3 and catches nothing but air. So The ball will go back over to the Bruins. That'll give the Suns an opportunity, though, to set that full court pressure. Hasn't really bothered the Bruins yet to this point much. See if that affects them later in the game as Bishop trying to bring it across the timeline and does with a couple of seconds to spare. Move it far side for Robinson. Jones watching him as Robinson looking for some help, getting close to that 5-second count, finds Carter in the corner. A little step back jumper on the way off the front of the rim and a loose ball taken away by Smith. Jones back the other way. Grover trying to get all the way to the rim, laid up in the left hand, score it, and a foul. Coast to coast goes Josh Grover, lays it in with the contact, making a 4-point game now in favor of Johnson University with 4:50 left to play in this first half, and Grover with an opportunity to give the Suns their largest lead of the ball game. Get a couple of substitutions for the Suns before the free throw. Phil LeGrier returns, who has been red hot from the three-point line, has 3 of them thus far. Mickshawn Williams also returns. Jones and Levy will exit for the Suns. Trying to complete the three-point play. Grover knocks down the free throw. So 3 in the game for Grover. The lead is 5 for the Suns, and again, more full court pressure coming for the Suns. Bishop able to get it across the timeline. Left-handed dribble, gets it in the corner. Robinson wide open for 3. Hits off the back of the rim. Trying to grab the loose ball on the weak side is Bishop, but we're going to get an over-the-back foul call against Bishop, who doesn't agree. That'll be the 4th on the team with 4:37 left to play in this first half. First on Bishop as Ingram returns and Poitras will sit. Ingram, the leading scorer in the ball game for the Bruins, has 7, as does Antoine Robinson. Phil LeGrier with the basketball on the far wing. Robinson watching him. Again, low block for Baker, trying to back his way in on Ingram. No look pass to the top for Grover. Grover with the spin move in the lane, throws it into traffic, and it's stolen away by the Bruins. Colton Bishop, left-handed dribble, got tied up in the air and fouled. Good job by Bishop that time, switching to that left hand to ward off the charging defender from behind. Draws the contact. And to the free throw line will go Bishop. Hitting the deck there was Mickshawn Williams, who's assessed the foul. 2 at the line for Bishop. Looking for his first points of the evening and knocks down the first of 2. Stops a 6-0 spurt for the Suns. Second free throw good as well. 33-30 in favor of the Suns. LeGrier from the wing tries to pull up with a tough contested jumper and somehow gets that to rattle in. LeGrier has been just red hot. Has made some circus shots in this one. Knocks that one down as well. Re-establishes the 5-point lead as the Bruins break the full court pressure. Glenn on the baseline. Ingram, short jumper, short off the front of the rim, and then lost out of bounds by LeGrier. Not able to pull that rebound in. And the ball will go back over to the Bruins. 3:52 left to play in this first half. Quickly inbounded for Ingram. Gets it back up top for Carter. And then away from the basketball, we've got a whistle and a stoppage. And I actually think it's not a foul of any kind. It's just a shot clock issue as the shot clock did not restart. And so now they'll reset it to 27. And we'll try again. Glenn quickly in for Bishop. Bishop drives it from the baseline, gets it back to Glenn. Passed up the open 3, finds Bishop right at the free throw line. Gets it on the baseline nicely for Ingram, and Ingram drops it in the hoop off the window. And a nice look that time from Bishop as the Bruins working the inside well. Long 3 again for LeGrier. This one finally off the mark. Rebounded to Ingram. Bruins with numbers ahead. Lob ahead for Robinson. Robinson with a right-hand layup. Too strong off the window. Influenced that time by Grover, who got back defensively and impacted that shot. So missed opportunity with the Bruins trailing by 3 at 35-32. 3:12 left to play in this first half. Baker on the low block again. Spins to the baseline. Ingram got his hands up in the air, but Baker able to draw the contact. And it'll be Baker at the free throw line for a pair this time as Ingram trying to ward off the bigger Baker. First free throw for Baker, hits high off the back of the rim and drops in. 4 in the game now for Baker, a 4-point lead for the Suns with 3:07 left to play in this first half. Second free throw, that one good as well. 37-32. Matches the largest lead of the game for the Suns. Bruins, side to side, able to get it across the midcourt stripe without any trouble. Bishop for Carter, far wing three, off the front of the rim. Rebound battle for Bishop, comes up with it for the Bruins. Gets bumped by Baker in the corner. Finds Ingram in the lane, a little bit too strong with the layup. Battle for his own miss, got it back. Kicks it up top for Robinson. Over to Bishop on the far wing. Bishop attacks, hangs in the air, scoop it up, no. Couldn't get it over the front of the rim, and the loose ball taken away by the Suns. Leak out back the other way as Grover drops it off on the baseline for Roman, and Roman lays it up and in. Check that, Mikshawn Williams with the basket that time. Largest lead of the game now for either side at 7, 39-32 as Bishop attacks the other way, got the ball knocked out of his hands. Out of bounds, last touch off the Suns, as they'll say Baker cleanly got that as Bishop tried to scoop that up and under. 39-32 in favor of Johnson with 2:22 left to play in the first half. Couple of substitutions. Keon Jones into the game for the first time for the Bruins. Rodriguez returning for the Suns. Quickly in for Ingram. Ingram, a little hesitation that time, traveled with the basketball, and the Suns will get it back. So things have become a little helter-skelter in the last couple of minutes, and the Suns taking advantage as they have established their largest lead of the ball game at 7, 39-32. Grover out front with 2:08 left in the game, or in the first half, I should say. Grover got the ball poked away, stolen away by Glenn. Going to go in one-on-one with LeGrier, lay it up with the right hand, and gets it to drop in the basket, does Glenn. First hoop in a while for the Bruins, cuts the lead to 5 at 39-34. A little bit too much dancing at the top by LeGrier. Glenn with a good defensive play to poke that away. 1:45 to play in the half. Williams out front, Robinson, man-to-man defense, harassing him, trying to split through a couple of Bruin players. Was Williams. Clipped Ingram on the way by. The foul will go against Ingram and the Bruins. That's the second on Ingram, or on Robinson, I should say. So they assess the foul to Robinson. That's the 6th against the Bruins in the half, so one more will put them over the limit. As Grover will exit. And Jamie Smith back into the game for the Suns for the final 1:35. Smith out front, Glenn watching him. Glenn trying to get his hands on that dribble. Smith with the crossover, tried to split the double team. Ball is loose on the floor, rolling over, and we're going to get a jump ball, I believe. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving after the play. And the Bruins will get it back on the alternating possession as the crowd applauds the effort as the Bruins trying to cut into this deficit a little bit before the end of this first half. 1:22 to play in the first half. Bruins trailing by 5 at 39-34. Now the officials will head to the scorer's table and have a word. I'm not sure what about, as the game clock looks correct and the shot clock also should be reset, and it is. Give you an idea of the pace of play in this first half. We have not once heard the shot clock buzzer at any point in this first half. And I think what they might be saying is that instead of a jump ball on that tie-up a moment ago, instead it is going to be a foul against the Suns. Marquise Smith's number is up on the scoreboard. And so at the line will be Ingram for a 1-and-1. Misses the front end, though. So keeps the deficit at 5 for the Bruins, 39-34, with 1:17 to play in the first half. Into the corner. Thought about the three. Did Williams. Instead drives it in. Shut off by Robinson. Then lost the basketball out of bounds. Did Mikshawn Williams, as Robinson again gets his hands in the attempted dribble handoff that time. And the ball again will go back to the Bruins. Carter on the far wing. To the top for Jones, near side for Glenn. Thought about the three. Zone defense on this trip for the Suns. Glenn up fakes the three, drives around his defender in the lane. Ingram with a good catch and score. from about 2 feet away. Ingram with a heck of a first half has 11 to lead the Bruins, and the lead down to 3 for the Suns with 45 seconds to play in the half. Williams, left-handed dribble, hangs in the air, a little bit short on the bank attempt, and the rebound taken away by the Bruins. Glenn into the corner for Robinson, thought about the three, sweeps across the lane, outside for Glenn, a three is good, but before the pass, a blocking foul that's going to go against the Suns. And another 1-and-1 opportunity coming for the Bruins. This time it'll be Robinson. Takes away what would have been the game-tying basket with 31.6 on the clock in this first half. So Robinson at the stripe has 7 first-half points. Won't have 8 here, though, as he misses the front end of 1-and-1. That's twice the Bruins have missed the front end. And now the Suns will have the basketball back. About a 1-second difference game to shot clock. 21 seconds on the game clock. Baker spins baseline again. Hook shot, no, and the rebound taken away by Keon Jones. 12 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Bruins will get the last shot of the first half, barring a turnover here. As Glenn, left-handed dribble, trying to kick it in the corner for Jones. Deflected out of bounds. That'll stop the clock with 4.1 on the game clock. Bruins will keep it as Glenn will trigger the inbound. Glenn gets it for Jones on the baseline, pulls up for the jumper at the buzzer, hits off the back of the rim, and that'll be the end of the first half of play. So the Bruins, after trailing by as many as 7, able to cut the deficit down to 3 at the end of the first half, and they trail it by 3, 39-36 is our score after the first 20 minutes of action. We will have the Bruins halftime report coming up for you here in just a moment as we continue on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Yeah. Low. Yeah. 360 in the contract, never that. I just take the contact, I bring it back. I'm running on the fast break, behind the back. Yeah, this that penny with the shack.
If he's passing me the rock, it might not get it back. They never gave a hand, now they wanna give me that. I don't know where you been, I got fear of God, ain't no fear of man. These them air minios, yeesh, need a pair of them.
LA, man, I feel like magic. LA, I can't stand the traffic. West side for the vacation. Yeah, Westbrook on the isolation.
Yeah. So New York City gotta keep it Mickey Mantle, the bubble jacket with the periwinkle camo, From Argentina, it's a military issue, And Lloyd said don't mix the pitbull with the shit, so don't do it.
I just threw it off the backboard. Game winner, I'm the one they asked for. Magic. I need meditation.
6 deep, Peter Luger made the reservation.
Pass the check right in, no hesitation.
Spotify to show the kid love. I'm like, what a week. Everybody trying to get my plug number for the years. I told my love, baby, we should leave. Then we go and get the fun. That's that Vietnamese. Yeah, so shout out all the single mothers, 2 jobs, 3 kids. I call that a triple-double. Call plays in the huddle. God, I'm in trouble. Shorties want me sub 'em in, and they sure ain't being subtle.
Well, now the hometown kids finally took the tour far, and I don't never ever chase dreams, man, I stalk them. Yeah. Low. Yeah. 360 in the contract, never that. I just take the contact, I bring it back. I'm running on the fast break, behind the back. Yeah, this that penny with the shack.
If he's passing me the rock, it might not get it back. They never gave a hand, now they wanna give me that. I don't know where you been, I got fear of God, ain't no fear of man. These them air minios, yeesh, need a pair of them.
LA, man, I feel like magic. LA, I can't stand the traffic. West side for the vacation. Yeah, Westbrook on the isolation.
Yeah. So New York City gotta keep it Mickey Mantle, the bubble jacket with the periwinkle camo, From Argentina, it's a military issue, And Lloyd said don't mix the pitbull with the shit, so don't do it.
I just threw it off the backboard.
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang, bang!
Welcome back here to Winston-Salem, North Carolina on the campus of Piedmont International University. It is halftime here tonight with the Bruins and the Suns doing battle in what was a very entertaining and up-tempo first half. At the end of it, though, the Suns, who led by as many as 7 in the first half, lead this one by 3 at 39-36. Dave Shook with you here at courtside as we take a look first at some of the first half numbers. Starting first with the Bruins, one player in double figure scoring right now, and that's Marcus Ingram, who was a real focal point of the offense through those opening 20 minutes, finishing with a team-high 11 points through the opening 20 minutes. A couple of other players also with multiple field goals, including Antoine Robinson, who had 7 first-half points off the bench. Tamir Glenn finishing with 4. Nash Carter has 4 points as well to start things out. Robert Neal, the only other field goal in the game for the Bruins, has 2. Justin Poitras, a couple of free throws, and Colton Bishop also with a couple of free throws to his credit to round out the 36 points in that first half for the Bruins. On the other side for the Suns, one player in double figures for them as well. It was Phil LeGrier, who was simply red hot from the three-point line, made 3 of 4 from beyond the three-point arc, including a couple of other field goals to finish with 13 points. That is the game high right now, as LeGrier was red hot in the early going in this one. A couple of other players in the scorebook as well as Garriott Jones off the bench finishing with 5. John Baker also with 5. And then a handful of players with 3. Jameek Smith, Oscar Dusenson, and Josh Grover and Marquise Smith, all with 3 points apiece, and then one player with 4 in Mickshawn Williams to round out the scoring for the Suns. So really balanced offense through the opening 20 minutes for this Johnson University team. The Bruins also doing a good job getting multiple players involved, and that's the score at the half, 39-36. We'll take another timeout, and when we come back, we'll take a look at some second half keys to the ball game coming up here after this as we continue with the Bruins halftime report on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sport Live.
This program is unique in that it addresses 3 key leadership areas: organizational management, educational administration, and ministry administration.
I would say the payoff is in ways that I never imagined. I never thought I would have such a supportive network. I never thought I would meet such great people who were at different points in their life. I mean, you can be sitting next to someone who's the CEO, and you sit next to people who are doctors. You also sit next to people who are stay-at-home moms who have decided to go back to school. It has enriched me in ways I just never thought a PhD program would.
I have a nuclear engineering technology bachelor's degree. I got an MBA from a secular school, and I knew that there was a whole Christian aspect of leadership. You read the books about Nehemiah, David, Christ himself. And so I wanted to build that into my learning and knowledge, so I started looking for a Christian college.
Piedmont comes across my computer, and they're on the top of all these lists, best this, top that, top 25, top. And I said, okay, this school seems to have a reputation for academic excellence.
The professors, the relationships we're building, and the leadership program is second to none. I'm able to use every single class I've taken in my business, and my business has grown. Not only my business, but I'm able to do community development and train other leaders, young leaders, middle-aged leaders, older leaders, and then I'm able to pass on leadership abilities and skills, to other people.
This program has a number of key strengths. Depending on which concentration, whether it's education or business or ministry, Because it's a terminal degree, a PhD, it opens doors of opportunity. God can use this program in so many different ways. In pastoral ministry, it can open doors to greater opportunities to share Christ in different contexts. In organizational management, it opens doors to new leadership positions. For many of our students, that's been their story. And in educational administration, it has done the same as well.
Since I've been in the program, the flexibility of the schedule, because I had to relocate from one end of the country to the other. I had to go to China for 2 adoptions. Last year my daughter had open heart surgery, so we've been able to work around it.
PIU students, they walk the talk. The professors, they walk the talk. So they lead by example, and therefore their students just emulate and lead by example in the communities they come from. It's just that simple.
To know that not only are my professors top-notch, not only do they know, everything in their field, they're leaders in their field, they're knowledgeable, they're guiding you, they're praying for you. And to know that makes all the difference in the world.
It's cost effective. It got the goal of having the Christian aspect brought into leadership and how that fits all together, and then the staff support.
But if you make the decision and you decide to come, it's the best decision you'll ever make, and you will not be the same afterwards.
I knew I had made the right decision.
Second half just a couple of minutes away between the Bruins and the Suns, with the Suns on top in this one at the break here in Winston-Salem. 39-36 is the score. Dave Shook welcoming you back here to the Bruins halftime report on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. I want to remind everybody to make sure to check out the brand new athletics website for the Bruins, PIUBruins.com. And our new partners bringing you all the latest up-to-date information on the Bruins, as well as accurate schedules and rosters and all kinds of good stuff for all the athletics programs across Piedmont International University. Taking a look at a couple of the second half keys to the game for the Bruins. Number one is going to be about getting a handle on dribble penetration. The Suns have largely gotten pretty much any shot that they wanted through the first half, which is uncommon for a team that can be very, very stingy defensively like the Bruins can be. So defensively, things have got to get ratcheted up a little bit in order for the Bruins to find a way to erase this three-point deficit and come out on the winning end. Also on the offensive end, I'd like to see a little bit more patience. At times the Suns have, despite not being able to create turnovers with their pressure, have forced the Bruins to play a little bit faster than they would prefer at times in this game. And so you want to see the Bruins be a little bit more patient on the offensive end, which would help them get better shots and be able to better easily erase this deficit here as we go into the second half. So that's a look at a couple of keys for the second half for this Bruins team, trailing by 3 at 39-36. We'll take one final timeout when we come back. It's the second half here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang!
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang, bang!
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty.
Dave Shook with you here on the campus of Piedmont International University as the Bruins and the Suns from Johnson University down in Kissimmee, Florida, going at it here tonight. 39-36 is our score after the first 20 minutes of action. Johnson University led most of the way in that first half after we traded leads for the majority of the first 10 minutes or so. The Suns took control a little bit towards the end of that first half, maintained a 7-point lead for a little while before the Bruins were able to cut into it at the end of that first half, cutting it down to 3 with the last 4 points of the first half, and they'll get the first opportunity with the basketball in the second half, moving from left to right, and the home whites turned into powder blue with the gray trim. As trying to get it on the baseline was Keontae Jones for Ingram. Pass was deflected, came right back to Jones, though, and the Bruins will get another opportunity as Robinson to Glenn, drives it from the wing. Nice shovel pass underneath for Ingram, who lays it up and in. Ingram had a terrific first half at 11 points, make it 13 now, as he was a real focal point for the offense in the first half of this one. Cuts the lead down to 1. That's now 6 straight for the Bruins going back to the end of that first half. Suns back the other way in those navy blue jerseys as Baker nearly threw it away. Able to save it, though, was Grover. Grover shut off on the baseline, looking for somewhere to go. Comes back up top for Baker with 10 on the shot clock. Handed off for Oliver. Oliver now nowhere to go. Good defense on this trip for the Bruins. Grover fires a contested 3 and knocks it down. 27 seconds of really good defense that time by the Bruins, but the Suns able to convert, and their lead is back to 4 at 42-38. Glenn to the near side for Robinson. And now back for Glenn. Interesting to note the lack of Nash Carter, Colton Bishop, and Troy Mix on the floor to start this second half. Coach Howard opting to go with Robinson, who pulls up from the free throw line, wouldn't roll in. And a loose ball taken away by Baker, and the Suns looking to push their lead out. Back the other way with it is Oliver, all the way to the rim, lay it up, score, and a foul. Good strong drive by Kendall Oliver, gets his first basket of the game, does the 6'5 junior who was hampered by foul trouble in that first half. Foul will go against Tamir Glenn and the Bruins, and now a three-point play opportunity coming for Kendall Oliver. But first a look at the shot clock, which did not reset. And so once we get the shot clock issue sorted out, we will have one more free throw coming for Oliver, who has a chance now after the Bruins had cut the deficit to 1 to reestablish the largest lead of the game for the Suns, which was 7 in the first half. 44-38 our score with 18:35 left to play. 6 straight for the Bruins, and now potentially 6 straight for the Suns. Free throw is good. So completing the old-fashioned three-point play is Oliver. Largest lead of the game matched for the Suns, 45-38. Again, full court pressure for the Suns as Robinson and Glenn able to get it across the timeline together. Glenn out front, uses the screen from Neal. Far side into the corner for Jones, drives along the baseline. Tried to go with the up and under. Baker got a finger on it, knocked it away. And the Suns come up with a loose ball, and now a chance to establish their largest lead of the game. In the corner is Smith. Watched by Glenn. Low block again for Baker. Rises up over Neal with the jumper and knocks it in. 7 in the game for Baker. A 9-point lead for the Suns at 47-38. That's an 8-0 run for the Suns after the Bruins had cut the lead to 1. Jones to the top for Glenn. Glenn puts his head down, kicks it into the corner. A little bit too tall for Neal, though. And out of bounds back over to the Suns. Suns with the basketball looking for their first double-digit lead of the night as Grover on the far wing, watched by Glenn. To the top into the hands of LeGrier, who had a great first half. Pulls up from 15, that's no good. Long rebound picked away by Glenn. Good outlet pass ahead for Robinson. Robinson lets his man fly by and lays it in with the right hand. Good job by Robinson in transition. Able to get the hoop that time. Cutting the deficit to 7 now at 47-40 with 17-10 left to play in the ballgame. Into the corner. Thought about the three, did Oliver. Instead, will drive it across the lane. Kick it to the near corner. An open three for Grover is up and good. And the Suns have been very, very good from the three-point line in this ballgame. As the lead now 10 at 50-40. Jones for the Bruins to the top for Robinson. As the Bruins now need a response, trailing by 10 before this game gets away from them. Far side for Jones, trying to get it inside this zone defense. On the baseline for Ingram, drives it and then kicks it back into the corner for Glenn. 7 on the shot clock. Robinson will fire a three off the front of the rim. Baker and Jones battling for the rebound. Jones comes down with it and lays it in. Good job that time by Keon Jones, the 6'2 junior. Able to fight for that offensive rebound and get the hoop, cutting the deficit to 8 at 50-42. 16-15 left to play, and now an offensive foul is John Baker trying to set the screen for LeGrier. Clears out Keon Jones, who makes his second hustle play of the day, drawing the offensive foul from Baker, his second and the team first in the second half. Duzenson checks in for the Suns. Baker will sit with the 2 fouls. Baker a little bit frustrated with the whistle that time. Bruins will have the basketball back, looking to cut into this deficit, trailing by 8. As Robinson to the top for Glenn, trying to get this zone moving a little bit. As Glenn drives it into the corner, brings it back to the top. Neal will fire an open three, off the back rim, no. Rebound battled for, and the Suns able to pull it out of there. Marquis Smith with the board, good lead ahead for Grover. Grover stops at the free throw line, and now will bring it back to the top and reset things for the Suns with 20 on the shot clock. LeGrier, watched by Jones, gets it onto the baseline on the low block for Duzenson. Up top for Grover. Grover will fire a contested three. That one halfway down and out. Putback opportunity, no good for Duzenson, but a foul in the rebounding action. That's been the kind of game it's been at times for the Bruins defensively. You finally get the Suns to miss from the three-point line, and then Duzenson soars in for the tip opportunity and draws contact and will get himself to the line for a pair. First of 2 at the line for Duzenson is up and good. 2 of 2 at the line is the sophomore. 4 points in the game. J. Mike Smith returning, or J. Meek Smith, I should say. LeGrier will sit with his game-high 13. Second free throw rolls in for Duzenson. Lead back to 10 at 52-42. Bruins able to get it across the timeline without much issue again. As Robinson picks up his dribble, now comes back to the top for Glenn. Gets it back for Robinson, thought about the three. Instead, reverse the ball again, Keon Jones. Gets it in the corner for Glenn. Good cut by Ingram, laid off the window, no. Battle for the loose ball, Neal got his hands on it, finally pulls it down and lays it in. Good job by Robert Neal. Second time the Bruins have been able to outwork the Suns for a second chance opportunity. And with 15 minutes left to play in the second half, the deficit again is 8 at 52-44. Bruins looking for a defensive stop as Grover gets it down low for Duzenson. Comes across the lane, hands it off in the corner for Oliver. Oliver got bumped on the way by, I believe. And the foul will be against the Bruins. It'll be Ingram. Justin Poitras will enter the game for the Bruins. Ingram will sit with his second foul. Colton Bishop will also return. Keon Jones goes to the bench. Suns with the basketball, trying to drive it in as Grover got tied up with Glenn. Lay it up, no, but a foul that's going to go against Glenn. So Glenn whistled for the blocking foul. As Coach Howard starting to get his regulars back in the ball game. Troy Mix will return after this first free throw coming for Josh Grover, who is 1 for 1 at the stripe. First free throw is good. Grover joins LeGrier in double figures now with 10. Neal will exit. Mix returns. Carter also will return. And Tamir Glenn will get a rest. One more coming for Grover. Second one, good as well. 10-point lead again. Suns will get a quick sub as Mikshawn Williams will enter, and Grover, after the 2 free throws, will sit. Grover with 11 in the game. Bruins able to get it across the midcourt stripe. Robinson drives it right down the middle of the paint, tried to shovel it off for Poitras. Pass deflected and stolen. Suns with numbers back the other way, but not able to get a handle on it was Oliver. And so Oliver forced to retreat and get the Suns into a half-court set. 15 on the shot clock for Oliver and the Suns, leading by 10. 14 minutes left to play in the ballgame. Smith gets it down low for Duzenson. Tries the little turnaround jumper from the free throw line. That's no good. All over the rebound was Poitras, and then a reach-in foul. It's going to go against the Suns, and I believe they're going to get J-Mike Smith with that. Just the second on the team, and the first on Smith. So Carter will inbound. Again, a little bit of full court pressure for the Suns. Hasn't really created turnovers for the Suns, but it has forced the Bruins to play a little bit faster at times. We saw the game get really helter-skelter towards the late portion of that first half where the Suns built that lead. And the lead now is 10 for the Suns as Mix right at the free throw line. Jumper on the way is no good. Had an open look at it, just not able to put it down is Mix, who has had some struggles tonight, just 2 points in the game. 13:30 left to play in the half, driving it inside and laying it in with the left hand is Mikshawn Williams. He's got 6 in the ball game, and the lead is 12, largest of the game for the Suns. Bishop drives along the baseline, gets it for Carter. Carter forcing the issue at the rim, draws contact, and will get himself to the line. So it'll be 2 at the line for Carter. The foul on Duzenson, his third. And the Bruins looking to stop the bleeding a little bit as Carter, though, misses the front end of 2. A rare miss at the stripe for Carter as Baker returns for the Suns and Duzenson will exit. One more for the senior Carter, who has 4 in the game, including 2 of 3 at the line. Second one on the way. Got it. So Carter, 1 of 2 at the stripe, has 5 points in the game. Cuts the deficit to 11 at 56-45 with 13:12 to play in the ballgame. Oliver out front being watched by Mix. Moves it to the far side for Smith, gets it back for Oliver, and then Oliver has the ball taken away by Carter. Carter trying to force the tempo, gets his way all the way down the floor, hangs in the air with a left hand and somehow lays that in. Carter was swallowed up initially by about 4 Sun defenders, still managed to get that ball on the rim and lay it in. 56-47 as the Bruins a little burst of 3 straight, cutting the deficit under double figures to 9 at 56-47. Baker reversing the ball are the Suns. Near side for Smith. Pulls up just inside the free throw line. Wouldn't get that to go down, and the loose ball tapped out of bounds. Last touch off of Mikshawn Williams. And the Bruins will get it back with 12:30 to play in the ballgame. Substitution will get Marquis Smith out and LeGrier back in for the Suns. And then the Bruins with an unforced error as Carter stepped across the baseline, I believe, before making the pass, resulting in the turnover, and an unforced error for the Bruins gives the ball back to the Suns, and then the Suns reciprocate. But before the inbounds pass, as the Suns looked like they were about to match the Bruins for the unforced error, Colton Bishop whistled apparently for holding one of the Suns players, his second foul, and so the Suns will get a do-over essentially. As it comes in for LeGrier, drives the lane, and is whistled for the travel. So things getting a little sloppy here in the last minute or so, with a couple of unforced errors either side. And the Bruins looking for a little bit of a burst, trailing by 9. Clock not quite becoming their enemy just yet, as Bishop doing a lot of dribbling at the top. Gets rid of it for Smith. Parker Turner into the game, finds Carter for three. Hits off the back rim, no. Bishop had a hand on the rebound for a moment, but the Suns able to corral it. They'll come back the other way. LeGrier was red hot from the three-point line in the first half. Finds Baker as the Suns reverse the ball back to Oliver. Mix shading Oliver to his right. Oliver with the crossover, lost the handle on the ball, couldn't get it back. Now does track it down just at the sideline. Shot clock down to 8 as Oliver tries to split a double team, lost the ball. Parker Turner with the steal. Parker Turner with a left-hand dribble all the way to the rim. Hangs in the air, wouldn't go down. Rebound tapped around by Poitras, who couldn't pull it down. And now the Suns with a 2-on-1 back the other way as Smith goes up for the block, but is rejected inside by Bishop. And not only did Bishop get the block, he blocked it off of Smith, and the Bruins will get it back. Big-time play by Colton Bishop, trying to spark this team down by 9 with 11:34 to play. Josh Grover will return. Out of the game will go Williams for the Suns. Jameek Smith will also sit, and Marquis Smith will return. Parker Turner will handle the basketball. A little bit of man pressure this time from LeGrier on Parker Turner. Bruins have gotten some stops the last couple of trips, but now need to get their offense moving as Bishop fires a three and knocks it down. Colton Bishop stepping into a long three, knocks that one down, and all of a sudden it's a 6-point game again at 56-50. LeGrier trying to answer, halfway down and out. Carter's got the rebound, and he wants to run. Carter back the other way, left-hand dribble, forces contact, lay it up, no. Rebounded by Poitras, forces contact, and that's a foul, and Poitras is going to the line. And so all of a sudden, the Bruins, finding the energy level that they needed, have cut what was a 12-point deficit in half. And now Poitras at the line, a chance to make this a 4-point game as the Suns will huddle just to the left of Poitras at the line. Poitras, 2 of 2 at the stripe in this game for his only 2 points. Has an opportunity to make this a 4-point game. That one is going to be a little bit short, but manages to roll over the front of the rim and in. The 6'6" freshman eligible for the first time this semester. 3 points in this one. One more to come for the talented freshman, Justin Poitras. Second one. Oh, halfway down and out. Loose ball taken away by the Suns, who continue to lead this one by 5 with 10:55 left to play in the ball game. It was a 12-point deficit. The Bruins have cut it down to 5. Zone defense this trip for the Bruins. Entry pass in low for Baker. Got the ball poked away and stolen. Bruins converging on Baker in the lane. Bishop comes up with the loose ball, goes behind his back, hangs in the air, lays it in with the right hand. Colton Bishop gets all the way to the rim, and that will be a timeout for the Suns. And head coach Craig Wilsman as the Bruins with 9 straight to cut what was a 12-point deficit down to just 3 at 56-53. Just a 30-second timeout for the Suns, so we'll keep it here. 10:30 left to play in the ball game, 56-53 in a game that looked like it was on the verge of getting away from the Bruins, who now have battled back in this one to cut this deficit again to just 3. As you take a look at the catalyst for it, really has been Colton Bishop on the defensive end. Came up with a big-time block, has also attacked the glass offensively. Had just 2 points at the break, now has 7 in the game. And as has so often been the case, Bishop, the emotional catalyst when the Bruins need one, has brought his team back into this one. The Suns will have the basketball out of the timeout, leading by 3. So 10:30 left to play in this one here on a Friday night in Winston-Salem. Out of the timeout, it'll be Grover handling the basketball out front. A little bit of zone defense again for the Bruins. Little 3-2 look in the corner for Kendall. And out of the near side for Grover. LeGrier, skip pass to the top. Smith got tied up, nowhere to go. LeGrier lobs it on the baseline for Baker. Back to the top with 9 on the shot clock. Oliver, pass deflected by Carter. Now the shot clock really becoming a factor. LeGrier contested 3, no. Rebound taken away by Carter. Got the ball nearly poked away from behind. Weaves his way through traffic. Hangs in the air. No, but a foul. Good job by Carter again, forcing the issue at the rim. Draws contact, and the very, very reliable Carter at the free throw line. A chance to make this a 1-point game and continue this run for the Bruins that right now sits at 9 straight points. Carter has 7 in the game. 3 of 4 at the stripe, make it 4 of 5 now. Wholesale substitutions for the Suns. We saw a lot of this in the first half as Duzenson, Williams, Jamie Smith, and Garriott Jones all check back into the game. Seen all but one player on the active roster in this game for the Suns tonight, as Carter at the line for one more. Completes it, and now it's an 11-0 run for the Bruins to make this a 1-point game. And now we will get another timeout for the Suns. 9:57 left to play in the ball game, and it's actually a timeout for the Bruins. It'll be a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. 9:57 left to play in the game. The Bruins have clawed their way back within one at 56-55. We'll have more for you after this here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang!
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty.
Out of the timeout, the Bruins with 11 straight points to cut a 12-point deficit down to 1. And on defense on this trip, the Suns looking for their first points in a while. This zone defense has really flummoxed the Suns, using a little 3-2 with the very long Colton Bishop at the top of it. As Williams thought about the three, kicks it in the corner. Open three for Smith is good. Big basket that time for the Suns to stop the run. Second three of the ball game for Marquise Smith reestablishes a 4-point lead for the Suns at 59-55. Colton Bishop near side for Parker Turner, lobs it down low, trying to force his way to the rim is Poitras. Poitras just overpowering two Suns players under the hoop. Has his first field goal. He's got 5 in the ball game. It's a 2-point game at 59-57. 9:12 left to play in the ball game. Mikshawn Williams out front, working against Troy Mix. Man-to-man defense this trip for the Suns. Shut off that time was Williams. Comes back to the top, trying to drive it in is Duzenson. Duzenson in traffic, draws contact, and will get himself to the free throw line as Bishop, trying to avoid picking up the foul, just kind of put his arms out. And Duzenson jumped right into them and kind of baited the official into a whistle that time, and it'll be Duzenson at the stripe for a pair, trying to make this a 4-point game again. First free throw, halfway down and out. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but that might be the first miss at the line tonight for the Suns. As Poitras, after a good stretch to start the second half, goes to the bench along with Parker Turner. Tamir Glenn returns, as does Robert Neal. Second free throw is good. So 1 of 2 at the stripe for Duzenson. 3-point game at 60-57. Bruins with a chance to tie with a 3 or get within 1. Again, they trailed by as many as 12 in this game, led by as many as 2 a couple of times in the first half. Bishop out front, gets his signals crossed with Carter. As Carter drifting into the corner behind that screen. Bishop thought he was coming up top. And the ball thrown out of bounds into the Bruin bench, and the Suns will get it back. 8:30 to play in the ball game. 60-57 our score in favor of the Suns, who have the basketball. Mikshawn Williams at the top. Far wing for Smith. Bishop watching him again, man-to-man defense on this trip. To the top again. Dusenson finds an open Smith. Another three on the way. This one good again. Third three-pointer of the game and the second in the last 2 minutes or so. And it's a 6-point game again in favor of the Suns. 63-57 is Bishop trying to drive it inside. Hangs in the air with a wild shot. No. Neal with the tip rebound right to himself. Turns around right down the lane. Bank it. No, but a foul. And that one that Neal probably wishes he had back. An opportunity definitely to put that in with the contact. And Neal will be at the stripe for a pair. Has 4 points in the game. Does the 6'3 sophomore. Has a chance again to make this a 4-point game at 63-59 if he can make these both. First free throw, no problem. The Bruins have been an adventure at the free throw lines at times, an adventure at the free throw line at times in this game, but Neal calmly sinks both of those. He's got 6, and the lead is 4 for the Suns at 63-59. 7:50 to play in the game. Dusenson shut off on the baseline by Neal. Carter comes out to contest, forces Dusenson to pick up his dribble, gets rid of it down low inside. Turnaround jumper by Smith, banks it in, and the foul. Tough shot that time by J-Meek Smith. Smith, who had only 1 field goal in the ball game prior to that one. Again, a big basket as the Suns have answered the run for the Bruins after their lead was cut to 1. Have pushed it back to 6 now, and a chance to make it 7 as Neal picks up his second foul and Ingram returns. Ingram, a long time on the bench, still has the team high in this game with 13. And the old-fashioned three-point play is complete. So Smith now with 6, and the lead is 7 again at 66-59. Bishop leads it ahead across the timeline for Ingram. For Glenn, far side for Carter. Carter launches the three, knocks it in. Nash Carter with his first three-pointer of the ball game. And the first as a team, second as a team. He's got 12, joining Ingram in double figures, and the lead down to 4 at 66-62 for the Suns. Trying to drive it inside is Smith, hangs in the air, ugly shot, weak side rebound taken away by Bishop. Not the shot the Suns wanted on that trip down the floor. Bishop drives it into the lane, little step shot, lays it up off the window, no. But a foul that's going to go against the Suns. Bishop using those long legs to get some separation, to get himself to the rim and a chance to spin that one in off the window. Couldn't quite get it there. And Bishop a little frustrated with himself, but has an opportunity at the line to make this a one-possession game. At the 8th team foul, so the Suns now over the limit as Bishop makes the first. Antoine Robinson returns. Mix will sit for the Bruins. Second one for Bishop. That one good as well. 9 in the game for Bishop. 7 of them in the second half. 2-point game again at 66-64. Suns very quickly across the timeline. Dusenson got tied up inside by Carter, but it's going to be a foul against Carter as Dusenson for the second time forcing the issue at the rim and drawing contact. So 2 more coming for Oscar Dusenson, the 6'4 sophomore. 4 of 5 at the stripe. First one on the way. Comley knocks it down. That makes it a 3-point game at 67-64 as the clock now starts to become a factor with 6:50 to play in the game. One more coming for Dusenson. That one off the front of the rim and the rebound to Carter. So again, 1 of 2 at the stripe for Dusenson, and the Bruins again with a chance to tie with a 3. Carter out front against J-Meek Smith. Carter, left-hand dribble into the lane, into the corner. Robinson back for Glenn. Step back 3 on the way from the wing. Got it! Tamir Glenn, his first three-pointer of the ball game, and we are square at 67. It's a brand new ball game with 6:28 to play. Williams out front, Glenn watching him. Goes away from the screen from Dusenson. Left-handed dribble stopped at the free throw line. Hands it back for Dusenson. Dusenson tied up in the lane. It should be a travel, and it is. Officials that time on the far side of the floor kind of looked at each other to make sure that they both had the same call. I think one of them was thinking about calling a foul, but instead the travel on Dusenson, gives the Bruins the ball back with a chance to retake the lead. Carter looking for it. Halfway down and out. Rebound, Bishop had a hand on it. Taps it for Glenn, and a fresh shot clock now for the Bruins. Bishop on the baseline for Robinson. Back to Carter. Wants another three. This one is short, and the rebound taken away by Jones. Jones trying to push it back the other way. Way out of control with the dribble. Manages to save it. Finds Smith. Steps inside the three-point line. Jumper halfway down and out. Rebound to Dusenson. Gets it back into the hands of Williams. Williams with the pull-up from 12. That's no good. Bishop skies for the rebound. Still tied at 67, and now Coach Howard, I believe, is going to get a timeout. Yes, he will. It will be a full, because I think Coach Howard wants to make sure that his team gets a good shot on this trip down the floor. Maybe not happy with Carter's pull-up three after the miss on the previous possession. The game's still tied at 67. We'll take the timeout as well with 5:37 to play in the ball game. We're all square here at 67 on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang, bang!
Uh. 5:37 left to play here in Winston-Salem on the campus of Piedmont International University, where the Bruins, who trailed by as many as 12 in this second half, have rallied back to tie the game at 67. Dave Shook with you here at courtside. Mason Cox is our board op and engineer tonight. And as we come down the stretch, let's see who can take control of this game in the final 5:37. The Bruins with another opportunity to take their first lead since about midway through the first half. They've led this game by as many as 2 a couple of times when we were trading the lead early in the ball game. Antoine Robinson on the far wing against this zone defense for the Suns. Bishop comes to the near side for Glenn. 9 on the shot clock. Skip pass far side for Robinson's got to do something with it now. 5 on the shot clock. Up top, Bishop. Bishop right at the free throw line. Underneath for Robinson. Lays it in with a right hand. Nice find by Bishop to get it to Robinson, who calmly lays it in as the shot clock was about to expire. And the Bruins retake the lead at 69-67. Under 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Nearly threw it away. Did Smith. Able to track it down, though, was Oliver. Oliver around the screen from Baker back into the game during the timeout. Oliver with a wild shot that's no good. Baker taps the rebound, but right into the hands of Robinson. Goes in one-on-one. Is going to be whistled for the travel, though, as he tried to stop himself going in against Grover. And then a whistle to settle things down, I think, a little bit, as we're going to get a substitution for the Suns. Dusenson coming back into the game. Grover's going to take a seat. And Ingram also to the bench for the Bruins as Troy Mix returns. Both teams in the bonus as we come down this final 4:30. Tied at 60, or the Bruins rather, with a 2-point lead at 69-67 is LeGrier on the baseline for Baker. Spins toward the baseline against Mix, laid in with a foul. This has been an effective bit of offense in this game for the Suns, is finding the burly Baker underneath the rim and letting him go to work. This time drawing the contact from Mix and finishing. And now a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play as the game tied at 69. And a chance for the Suns to retake the lead. Grover returning for the Suns. Dusenson sitting, so a little offense-defense as Baker completes the three-point play. Baker's got 10 in the game. It's a 1-point lead for the Suns with 4:23 to play. Man-to-man defense on this trip for the Suns is Bishop at the top trying to direct some traffic. Wants to go one-on-one, instead fires a long three off the side of the rim as Coach Howard just puts his head in his hands. Not happy with the shot selection that time by Colton Bishop. Back the other way with it is Grover. And the Suns now trying to extend that lead as Smith into the corner for Grover. Grover the lefty. Glenn watching him. Baker absolutely clobbered Troy Mix away from the basketball. Up high as well in the face And the officials will say no intentional foul, just a common foul against Baker. Now the Suns are over the limit, but because that's an offensive foul, there won't be free throws here for the Bruins. So it'll just be Bruin basketball. As the Bruins trying to retake the lead, trailing by a point at 70-69. Robinson in the corner for Carter. Carter with a big-time crossover, up and under, lays it in with a right hand, does Nash Carter. 14 in the game for Carter. Bruins retake the lead by 1. Oliver lost the basketball, got it back, and lays it back in. Oliver just beating the Bruins down the floor that time. Got the ball stripped away initially, but it didn't get far away from him. Oliver able to gather and put it back up and in, and a timeout for Coach Wilsman and the Suns, who retake the lead at 72-71. As just as in the first half, we go back and forth now on the odd number as we come down the stretch in these final 3:24. Full timeout, but we'll keep it here. Got to believe that the Suns and Coach Wilsman trying to set something up special defensively on this trip to try and force a miss or maybe a turnover, or maybe get a little bit more aggressive with that full court pressure. The Bruins, on the other hand, want to get a good set out of this one. Nash Carter has been the closer most of the season for this Bruins team, but Colton Bishop has also had a nice second half. 7 of his 9 points, all in the second half. Carter now with 14, one of 3 players in double figures for the Bruins, alongside Antoine Robinson with 11, and Marcus Ingram with 13, who had a terrific first half, but has been saddled with foul trouble the bulk of the second half and has only 2 points in the second. On the other side, Phil LeGrier continues to lead the way for the Suns with 13, but has been very quiet in the second half. Josh Grover also in double figures with 11, and then John Baker with 10. Marquis Smith nipping at double figures has 9. We'll see where the Bruins go out of this timeout with 3:24 left to play in the ball game. Colton Bishop will trigger the inbound. A little bit of token pressure in the backcourt, as Bishop will throw it in for Robinson. Robinson will bring it across the timeline as Coach Howard, trying to direct some traffic for his group, has Ingram come out to set the screen. Robinson up top for Ingram. Ingram trying to hand it off for Carter. Good job denying by the Suns that time. Now Bishop behind the screen from Ingram. Thought about the 3. Instead will pull it down. Tries to clear out. Drives it inside with the right hand. Tries to bank it and somehow gets that to go down. Tough angle shot for Colton Bishop, who now has 11 in the ball game. 4 players in double figures for the Bruins, who retake the lead at 73-72. Smith on the baseline for Baker. Makes the catch despite the deflection. Tries to spin toward the middle. Gets it for Smith. Foot on the line. Jumper halfway down and out. And then the rebound by Glenn. But in the rebounding action, Baker hit the deck. And I think they're going to get Ingram with the foul for pulling Baker to the ground. And both teams long since in the bonus. This will be 2 at the line for Baker, as that is the 10th team foul against the Bruins. Actually, yep, assessing that foul to Ingram, his 3rd. First free throw for Baker is good. Ties the game at 73. 2:40 left to play in the game. Second free throw. That one good as well. Now a little bit more aggressive in their full court pressure are the Suns, as Robinson trying to clear some space, gets it across the timeline with a couple of seconds to spare. Tied it, or the Suns rather, with the 1-point lead at 74-73. 2:25 to play in the game as Robinson stops on the low block, gets it in the corner on the baseline for Ingram. Nearly got the ball tied up. Hands it off in the corner for Glenn. Glenn, I think, got poked in the eye and calls a timeout. It'll be a 30-second timeout, or maybe got hit in the throat. In any event, the Bruins will call timeout. It'll just be a 30-second timeout for Coach Howard, and the Bruins trying to save the possession with 6 on the shot clock, trailing by a point at 74-73. Again, if you're just joining us, the Bruins trailed by as many as 12 in the second half, but an 11-0 run got them back into this one. They've had the lead a couple of times in the second half, but have not been able to maintain it. But now with 2:16 to play, it becomes about execution as we come down this home stretch. Bruins have been very good at home this season, just one loss in this building. And that was to Cumberland's on a short turnaround on a back-to-back. Mix will trigger the inbound. Gets it in for Robinson. 5 to shoot. Robinson trying to drive it inside. Throws it up wildly for Mix in the corner. 1 on the shot clock, a 3. Tried to bank it, no. Bishop's got the rebound and a fresh shot clock for the Bruins. Robinson at the free throw line. Outside Carter for the lead. Off the front of the rim. Bishop again with the offensive rebound with 2 minutes even to play. Colton Bishop has been all over the glass, has had a huge impact on this game in the second half. 1:48 to play in the ball game. Bruins down by a point. Oliver watching Bishop behind the screen from Mix. Tried to get it back to Mix on the roll. Couldn't get it there. Instead, Bishop trying to cross it over with 6 on the shot clock. Puts his head down. Gets it on the baseline for Ingram. Ball deflected and stolen by the Suns. Back the other way, LeGrier out ahead of the crowd for Smith. Smith got the ball deflected, came right back to LeGrier, lays it up, no, but a foul. Not the best possession after the 2 rebounds by Bishop. And the Suns able to come up with the steal, maintain the 1-point lead. And now Phil LeGrier, who has been very quiet in the second half after a really good first half, is at the stripe for a pair, has a chance to make this a 3-point game with 1:26 left to play. First free throw, good. Suns have been very, very good at the stripe in this game. Again, just 1 miss by my calculation. Check that, 2 misses, both of them by Dusenson. As Mix will exit and Glenn will return. It's a little bit more spacing on the floor for the Bruins. Taking some size off the court, though. Second free throw. That one good as well. So LeGrier with 15. The lead is 3 at 76-73. Bishop and Carter able to get it across the timeline. See where the Bruins go for offense on this trip. Trailing by 3. Carter using the Ingram screen. Pulls up far wing. Open 3 for the tie. That's no good. Battle for the rebound, and it's down to the Suns. Trying to leak out ahead of the crowd, but Robinson saved it right at the midcourt stripe. Had to lose possession of it, though, before he went over and back. Comes up with a steal again, though. And now we're under a minute to play. Down by 3. Bishop, a long 3 for the tie. Got it! Colton Bishop, a step behind the line, knocks down the 3, and we are all even at 76. 45 seconds to play. Grover has the ball knocked away by Bishop. 4-on-1 for the Bruins. No look to Carter. Got his man in the air and is fouled. What a job by Nash Carter and Colton Bishop. Bishop with the monster 3 to tie this at 76. Then has the steal as well and the outlet to Carter. And now one of the most reliable free throw shooters on the team with a chance to give the Bruins the lead back with 38.2 on the game clock. Carter has 14 in the game, has missed 1 at the line tonight, but makes that one. 6 of 7 now at the stripe for Carter. 1-point lead for the Bruins. Second one. That one rolls off. Big miss, keeps the lead at 1 for the Bruins, 77-76. 34 seconds left, about an 8-second difference, game to shot clock. Suns aggressively trying to find Baker on the block. There's a deflection and a steal at the top, though, for Carter. Carter goes in 1-on-1 and lays it in with the left hand. Big-time drive and score by Carter. And a timeout for Coach Wilsman and the Suns. Nash Carter, who missed the second free throw, comes up with the steal at the top of the key as the Suns were trying to get Baker open on the low block. Drives it in 1-on-1 against Josh Grover, lays it in, and the Bruins, with 22.7 left in the game, have their largest lead of the night. It's 3 at 79-76. A 15-point swing from where we stood with about 14 minutes left to play in this game when the Bruins trailed by 12. Seems like every time we're in this building, we get wild finishes. We're on our way toward another one. The shot clock will be off out of this timeout for the Suns with 23.1 on the game clock. A reminder to stay with us after the conclusion of this one. We'll hear from Coach Howard and our player of the game, should the Bruins hold on here. Looking to get above 500 again. Sitting at 7-7 on the year before a very nasty 4-game stretch where they're going to play 4 games in 7 days, all of them on the road. So this is a critical game for this Bruins team. Out of the timeout, Suns basketball, trailing by 3. Little bit of token pressure as LeGrier leads it ahead for Smith. Smith, Grover on the far wing against Carter, drives it inside, hangs in the air off the window and scores. That probably the smart play if you're the Suns, as the good strong drive by Grover leaves you 10.7 on the game clock and cuts the deficit to 1 at 79-78. The flip side of that coin is that if you try to hit the 3 and tie the game and you miss, that's pretty much lights out. So the Suns, at least for the moment, able to keep the game moving. And now for the Suns, it becomes about trying to get a steal. They're going to have maybe 1 or 2 seconds to try and create that turnover. If not, they're going to have to foul. Both teams in the bonus. One more for the Suns will put the Bruins in the double bonus. And so if you're the Bruins and Coach Howard, you're drawing something up here to get Nash Carter a couple of more opportunities at the line. They're going to reset the game clock from 10.7 up to 11.6. So about 1 second added to the game clock. Just as a quick game reset for you. Should we get a jump ball, the possession arrow does favor the Suns. So 11.6 on the game clock as we come out of this timeout. Bruins need to get the ball inbounds, ideally to Nash Carter. And if Carter can make a couple of free throws, then the Suns are probably backed into a corner where they're going to have to try 3 to tie this game and send it to overtime. Glenn will trigger the inbound, gets it in for Bishop. Again, the Suns will have a couple of seconds before they have to foul, and there is the foul. So Marquise Smith lets about 2 seconds go by the board before he gives the foul, and now Colton Bishop will be at the stripe for a pair. Bishop has been there twice tonight and is 4 for 4 at the line. Bishop, who's had a terrific second half, had just 2 points in the first half, 12 in the second, and has really sparked the run. Need both of these here if you're Bishop. First one. Rolls off the front of the rim. And so now for the Suns, that means you don't necessarily need a 3 back the other way. As a quick substitution, we'll get Smith out of the game and LeGrier, the three-point sniper, back in. One more for Bishop. Need this one to make it a 2-point game. Second one. Got it. 15 in the game. Clock running now. 7 seconds left to play. It's Grover. Drives it inside. Onto the baseline. Got Smith in the air. Smith misses the shot off the window. Scramble for the loose ball, and the clock is going to expire, and the Bruins are going to get the win. A good, strong drive to the rim by Josh Grover. Drew the attention of the defense. Marquise Smith got the drop off, but Smith not able to get that ball up on the rim. And in the scramble for the loose ball, the game clock expires, and the Bruins with another come-from-behind win here tonight as they rally from down 12. They win it by 2, 80-78, our final score. We'll have our post-game show coming up here for you in just a few moments. We'll hear from Coach Howard. We'll also hear from our player or players of the game coming up here in just a little bit on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Yeah. Low. Yeah. 360 in the contract. Never that. I just take the contact. I bring it back. I'm running on the fast break. Behind the back. Yeah, this that penny with the shack.
If he's passing me the rock, it might not get it back. They never gave a hand, now they wanna give me that. I don't know where you been. I got fear of God, ain't no fear of man. These them air minios, yeesh, need a pair of them.
LA, man, I feel like magic. LA, I can't stand the traffic. West side for the vacation. Yeah, Westbrook on the isolation.
Yeah. So New York City gotta keep it Mickey Mantle, The bubble jacket with the periwinkle camo, From Argentina, it's a military issue, And Lloyd said don't mix the pitbull with the shit, so don't do it.
I just threw it off the backboard. Game winner, I'm the one they asked for. Magic.
6 deep. Peter Luger made the reservation.
Pass the check right here, no hesitation.
Spotify to show the kid love. I'm like, what a week. Everybody trying to get my plug number for the years. I told my love, baby, we should leave. Then we go and get the fun. That's that Vietnamese. Yeah, so shout out all the single mothers, 2 jobs, 3 kids. I call that a triple-double. Call plays in the huddle. God, I'm in trouble. Shorties want me sub 'em in, and they sure ain't being subtle.
Well, now the hometown kids finally took the tour far, and I don't never ever chase dreams, man. I stalk 'em.
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang!
80-78 is our final score as we welcome you to our post-game coverage here tonight on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. A wild finish as the Bruins rally from down 12 to win by 2 and improve to 8-7 on the year. Head coach Josh Howard is with us down at courtside. And coach, we were talking during the commercial break a few minutes ago. There were a lot of moments where you kind of put your head on your hands on your head at some of the shots in this game, but ultimately at the end, one of those shots ends up working out as Colton Bishop with that long three-pointer able to tie this game, and then a couple of big free throws late to seal it.
Yes, like you said, that's really the highlight of this game was that Colton Bishop three. And thank God it went in. It was a big moment for him, and I'm glad he knocked it down. Overall, like you said, too, making our free throws down the stretch was big. Hats off to Johnson, Florida as well, because I know we got to turn right back around and play them next Friday on their home court. So I know the game won't be easy, but great win tonight.
Certainly an important win for your group. Talk about the resolve, though. Going into this game, you were down 3 at the half. You were down 12 in a flash, it seemed like, early in this second half. And this game was really on the verge, it looked like, maybe of getting away from you guys. What turned the tide for you? What changed for you?
I just think the second half, I inserted a whole new starting lineup. I had to shake the guys up, man, because I'm tired of seeing my guys not coming out and being the guys that I know they can be. I see them compete in practice against each other night in and night out very, very hard. So I want them to exert that energy into the teams that we play on a regular basis. And that's one thing I'm trying to teach these guys now, because at the end of the season, that's what we're going to have to do, come together and beat other teams.
A couple of those guys that were inserted into that starting lineup in the second half, Antoine Robinson and Marcus Ingram, I thought really started things for you. Ingram in particular always seemed to be around the basketball on the offensive glass, created a couple of second chance opportunities for you.
Yeah, it's nothing like having an old soul like Marcus Ingram on our team. He's always trying to do the dirty work, and he always wants the guys to play hard, man. And a little fun fact about Marcus, he actually was the MVP of my camp like in 2007. So me and him have
been around a long time with him.
Yes, and he knows what I expect, and it's been a blessing to have a guy like him on the team like that.
Now, one player who I think took it personally that he didn't get a chance to start the second half was certainly Bishop.
Yes.
Because he came in immediately, had a couple of steals, had a couple of key offensive rebounds, especially down the stretch in those last 2 minutes, and then also had 13 of his 15 points in the second half, including that big three. Just, again, his emotional presence on the floor is such a big factor for this team.
Very, very big. And Colton's history as well is one to know. He's a great young man, and the things that he's been through, it speaks up on the court when he just comes out there and play, man. So it's always good to have a guy like him and Marcus out there at the same time.
Now, just between us, how loud did you yell no when he pulled up for that three before you kind of sat back down and said, all right, maybe that worked?
Oh, in my head, it was loud. But, again, as a coach, learning to control my emotions, I was just quiet and stoic. Didn't say nothing, didn't do nothing.
Now, winning games at home this season has been something you guys have been pretty good at. But the next 4 are all going to be on the road, and they're going to be over 7 days starting on Monday. The road has been a different story for you guys, and I know 4 games in 7 nights. This has got to have you thinking back to your playing days when you played a lot of 5 games in 7-night trips back in the NBA days. How important is this stretch coming up for your group?
It's very important. We need these wins. I'm trying to get them all. I know it's going to be some tough competition, but, just to prepare us for the end of the year, getting ready for the tournament coming up, a great stretch of games against some great competition that we definitely need to go 2-4 at the least is what I expect, but just be able to compete night in and night out for those 4 games.
Friday nights in this gym always seem to be wild ones, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the win, 80-78, our final score. We'll talk to you again later on.
Yes, sir.
Head Coach Josh Howard joining us here on our post-game show. 80-78, the Bruins win it, rallying back from down 12. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, actually, I think we're going to hang on here, and we'll hear from Colton Bishop right now, and then we'll take a look at some of the numbers afterwards. As Colton Bishop, who had such a terrific ball game here tonight, finishing again with 15 points in the win for the Bruins. Now actually pausing to take a couple of photos with some of the fans here tonight in what was yet again another wild Friday night atmosphere between the Bruins from Piedmont International improving to 8-7 on the season. You kind of hear the elation in Coach Howard's voice, or at least the the relief in Coach Howard's voice, if nothing else, that they were able to find a way to win this game, despite at times the shot selection not being quite what he was looking for. And now the one guy who maybe, like he said, maybe gave him a couple extra gray hairs, putting in the earpiece right now, is Colton Bishop.
Hey.
Colton, appreciate you joining us again. It's been a little while. Last time we talked to you was after a game winner against Davidson County Community College.
Yeah.
And now here we are again. Coach Howard was telling us he got a couple of extra gray hairs tonight, maybe from some of your shots. And he told us that in his head, when you made that three to tie the game, he was screaming no as loud as he could in his head before it went in. Just talk about that shot and kind of what you were thinking when you pulled up for that.
Yeah, definitely. I just, wanted to win the game. And I saw he was a little bit off of me, didn't have a hand up, and just kind of goes back to that hand down, man down thing. So I just was confident and shot it. So, well,
it was a big-time shot that tied the game, and then you had the opportunity at the free throw line as well to kind of put this game away. Made one of two that were big. Just how big is it for you guys to be able to win games like this? Because it seems like every Friday night when we're in this building, these games are coming down to the final minute. You guys got a lot of experience now in these close games.
Yeah. Obviously, I think that says something about our team and how tough we are, how we're able to handle adversity, and it's going to be good once we get into tournament play because everybody's going to be gunning to make the championship, and those are the types of games we're going to play every game. So,
I'm talking to Coach Howard about the starting lineup in the second half, and you were the one player that seemed like you kind of took it personally that you didn't get a chance to start the second half. What was your mindset coming back into this game? Because down 12, it looked like this was on the verge, maybe of getting away from you. What changed over those final 10 minutes or so to pull you back in the game?
We just started playing more energy. We just came out unfocused, not ready to play. I was one of the ones too, one of the main people, so I definitely took it personally and didn't want to let Coach down, so we just came out with more energy and got it done.
Colton Bishop joining us here on our post-game coverage, finishing with 15 points, 13 of those in the second half. And now coming up after this, you guys are on the road for a long stretch. Yeah. We were just kind of comparing it to Coach Howard in his playing days. He played 5 games in 7 nights. That's kind of what you guys have up here, all of them on the road. How important is this stretch coming up here away from home?
It's going to be really important because obviously we got to go 500 to play in the conference tournament. So we got to just get a couple of these. Hopefully we get all 4. I think we will get all 4, and then after that we can just enjoy this long home stretch to end off the season. So
big time win for you guys tonight. Colton Bishop, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you again when you guys get back home.
Thank you.
Colton Bishop joining us here again at courtside. 80-78 is the final score as the Bruins rally from down 12 to win it by 2. 80-78 the final score. We'll be back to wrap things up coming up after this here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.
Rage. 1, 2, rage. 1, 2.
Sacrifice. Ambition. Loyalty. Pride. Drive. Unity.
That's what it takes to be a Bruin.
One, two, three, bang!
Sacrifice. Ambition.
Back here at courtside on the campus of Piedmont International University one last time as we remind you the final score 80-78 as the Bruins rally from down 12 over the final 12 minutes of the ball game and win it by 2. The big basket, Colton Bishop's pull-up 3 from about 25 feet straight away, tying the game at 76, and then the Bruins able to pull ahead and win this one 80-78. A clutch basket by Nash Carter, and then 1 of 2 at the stripe by Colton Bishop down the stretch, and a good defensive stand in the final 10 seconds, allowing the Bruins to get away with the win here tonight. Taking a look at some of the final numbers, 4 players in double figures for the Bruins, led by Nash Carter, who finished with 17 points, had some big baskets down the stretch as well. Colton Bishop also in double figures, had 13 of his 15 points, all in the second half. Marcus Ingram had a great first half, finishing with 13 points. Antoine Robinson also in double figures with 11. 3 players in double figures on the other side for the visitors from Kissimmee, Florida, who acquitted themselves very well here tonight. Phil LeGrier led the way. He had 15 points in the game. Josh Grover finishing with 13, and then John Baker with 12. So 80-78 our final score. Reminder, our next broadcast here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live comes your way on Monday, the 22nd of January. It'll be a 6:25 airtime and a 6:30 tip-off as the Lady Bruins will be back in action as they take on Appalachian Bible College. Again, that'll be 6:30 right here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live. But for everybody involved in our broadcast tonight, including our producer, engineer, Mason Cox, I'm Dave Shook, reminding you the final score tonight as the Bruins move to 8-7 on the season with the win over Johnson University. 80-78 is your final score, and you heard it all right here on the Bruins Sports Network from Carolina Sports Live.